Hello, all viewers. Welcome to the 12th Khelo Chess India team battle. I can see a couple of comments in the comment section. First is from Subhash. Hi, Subhash. How are you? You can say hi if you are able to hear me clearly and no problem with the audio. I can also see a message from Mayank. Hello, Mayank. Hope you all are doing well, safe at home. And tournament is starting in just 30 seconds now. We have top 10 teams participating. Still some players from Keep Playing Chess. This is a new team for which we got a request, but I don't think they have joined yet. Let's wait for them to join. But meanwhile, we have these teams who are competing for today's title. The winner is going to be one of these teams for today's 12th Kilo Chess India team battle. So let the tournament begin. Okay, so let's check the first game here. The first game is between Nikaru Hakamura and Vishal Pabri. Nikaru is from Gujarat Lions and Vishal is from Kolkata Dragons. So it's London system. If c3 is played now, knight f3 first. Okay. Bishop e7. This is a symmetrical opening, and in symmetrical openings, the piece which is developed differently makes all the difference. So if you want to play symmetrical openings, make sure that one of your minor piece is better placed as compared to that of your opponent. That will create a hole on c6 actually. Knight can go to c6 now, yes, and e7 probably will be captured. Yes, and then c7 is going to fall. Pawn on c7 is free now. So knight takes e7 and then bishop takes c7 or vice versa. First bishop takes c7 and then knight cross e7 can be played. Now first knight takes e7 check and now bishop will be retracted back to g3 or f4. Yeah, g3 is the better square. White slowly has to exchange the pieces now and go into an endgame with some open files. Once the files are opened, pieces are exchanged. White will try to prove his advantage with one extra pawn. So in such situations, guys, how will you exchange the pieces? Especially when you're white here, you need to, right? So that if you are having an extra pawn, you can go for the exchanges, and in the end game, you will be one pawn up, using which you can queen and defeat your opponent. So here, as now the bishop on d6 is attacked. What if c5 is played now? What can happen if c5 is played? Black cannot capture the pawn on c5 because, yes, that's what I was thinking, because the pawn is pinned and queen is hanging on b7. So c5 cannot be captured by a pawn. And now bishop b5 is also available for white. Bishop b5 and then the rook will be under attack. So a6 is now attacked. Now I think bishop will be coming back soon. But if bishop comes back, then the c5 queen has to move from b7. That pawn on b6 is pinned very badly. If that is removed, if the pin is removed, then black can have some counterplay. Yeah, rook doubling is now required because now white cannot capture the b6 pawn. c1 rook will be hanging. So if you look at here, if you look here, this is what black is trying to do, to attack on the c file. Okay. So this leaves white with an extra pawn on the queen side, guys. Now, if white is able to exchange the remaining of his pieces, then these two pawns in A and B file are going to be critical for white. Yeah, so this was supposed to come now. Now D7 knight will be hanging, but white should avoid capturing the knight on D7 because there will be opposite color bishop ending. White will be left with a dark squared bishop and black will be left with a light squared bishop. Oh, the exchange sacrifice. Why the exchange sacrifice? That's not good for black because that means an easy endgame for white now. White should start celebrations of his win in this game. So what do you think, guys? So this position, yes, that's the right move. Queen d6. Try to get the queens off the board. Knight on d7 is hanging. If queen to b7, then rook to c7 and knight is gone. So this is how white should progress the game and try to get as much as pieces exchanged because that of the extra pawn on queen side that white has as an advantage. So if now rook goes to queen goes to a7 or b7, so now this is the threat. If queen b7, then rook can go to c7 and this knight is hanging. So queen cannot go in A or B files. It cannot go to C files. It has to come to, oh, queen d3, an interesting option. Yeah, the e3 pawn was hanging, guys. So if queen takes d7, then queen takes e3 was possible. A very good counterplay from black side. White just has to make sure that there is an escape square for the king. If he wants to use his rook on c8, then the king has to have some escape square here to get himself safe. White is just trying to make sure that rook is defending the last rank, and now queen has captured the pawn on a4 a5. So now white can just try to push his pawns by putting the rook on a1. Now a4, yes. So now these pawns will be rolling, guys, and this knight will try to stop the pawns, but there is no entry for this knight because this queen and rook are controlling the all the squares in c file. So knight cannot go to c8, knight cannot go to c6. It just has to wait for some time now. Yeah, knight is going to go on d6 and b5 now. Again offering an exchange. This should be winning for white now if the queens are exchanged. Queen c6. Why was the pawn pushed? Queen could have gone to c6, right? Just I'm keeping this one move back. So I'm speaking about this, guys. If queen c6, then what can white do? What can black do over here after queen c6? So queen c6, again queen moves and then pawn push. This would have been simpler. Let's go back and quickly check what happened in the game. Knight b5, queen c6, queen takes, rook takes, and bishop d3, knight, rook b6, bishop c4, rook b7, king g6, pawn push, and this is winning for white now. So let's go back to tournament, guys. This is winning for white. Let's try to join the tournament and play a game or two. So Khelo Chess India is currently leading. That's surprising because the Khelo Chess India, my team was on third or fourth positions or fifth positions in last few tournaments. But right now, at this moment, it is at number one, followed by Black Knight, Kolkata Dragons, Chess Blasters, Gujarat Lions on number five. So I have got a game against Bombay Rocker. Bombay Rocker has played e4. I am trying to just play a simple move. So this is a risky move, guys. E6 is coming now very fast. E6 is going to be very, very, very fast here. I have to make sure that. Actually, let me just come back and capture the pawn on E5. Oh, my queen is pinned. So D3. Just trying to be greedy here, guys. Trying to. Is it not working? Queen is hanging. No, it's not working for me, guys. I have to survive now, at least for a few moves. I'm unable to find good moves. Suddenly, my position has weakened a lot. What to play in such difficult positions? You are a pawn down. You can see these two beautiful bishops lined up on your king side. Rook is having a beautiful open file. The queen is well placed on f3. Knight is on c4. It can now go to e3, f5, or d5. It has beautiful. All the pieces are in the game. This rook can also join quickly on d1. Look at my pieces. The bishop on e7, knight on d7, bishop on c8. These are just not at the right places at this moment. So if I play knight e5, yeah, I think it works for now. I just want to get rid of one of these bishops because if one of these bishops are eliminated, then this h7 or g7 threats will be nullified. Yeah, that was kind of expected. Knight f5. I have to capture the knight. I cannot allow the attack on g7. And now knight d3 is not possible because of queen takes g7 check and mate. So I have to just play f6 here. I know the b5 is hanging now. I want to block these diagonals. This diagonal. So against such attacks, you have to just block your opponent's best squares. So this diagonal b3 bishop, d4 bishop, or these are very well placed bishops. So you just block them. Don't allow them to enter the h7, g7 diagonals. And now rook bishop goes. I think there is going to be check on b3. I will go to h1, and there is no straightforward attack thereafter. Let me just capture the pawn here. I have to start attack somewhere. So b7 I think is the first instance where I am just trying to put some pressure, not much, but some pressure on white. Still, I feel that two bishops are very strong, d4 and b3 bishops, and I'm still not able to get rid of either one of them. So Bombay Rocker is now in bit of time pressure, and I think I might get a chance to get rid of one of the bishops by playing bishop c5, or yeah, let's try this. Bishop c5. I think there is a mate threat on f4, queen takes. Yeah, there could be a mate threat on h7. Hmm. You have to play very fast now. I also have to take care about the back rank weakness that I'm leaving right now. Queen f3 and rook d3. Yes, rook h3 is now possible. And now rook back. Now there is a threat on. Let me just put my rook back. Try to play as simple as possible. Oh, e8 rook was hanging. I missed it. I missed it. This rook was hanging, guys. I should have captured it earlier. And there is a mate on e1. So white resigns here. I survived this game by just opponent's time pressure. I was able to win. And yes, so there are a few comments while this game was going on. I missed the comments, guys. I was sorry, I was playing the game. Oh, I got a game with Nikaru Hakamura. So, guys, okay, sir, try the trick. Give the check with knight, Aditya Shivasto and Subhash M. Bishop c5. So I think Nikaru Hikamura plays knight f6. He plays Petrov defense, right? So let's just try to play something different here. Not to give him his what he likes most. Knight f6 probably. Yeah. So yes, guys, keep commenting. Comments are good. Shivam, I can see your move bishop c5. I don't remember right now which move it was, but definitely I'll try to pay attention to the comments as well when I'm playing the game now. Okay, so e5 is now, nd5 is available in g5, d5, e takes d5, queen, knight takes d5, knight f7, king f7, queen. There is a pawn on d4, that's a difference. So there is a possibility of fried liver here. If you guys are not aware, let me just quickly show you. I'll just try this fried liver. This is not the right way to play in this game, but this might teach you something. Oh, knight is there on c6, so this is not going to help much. Okay, so fried liver, this knight g5 and bishop c4 are very well placed on g5 and c4, and then there is a threat of knight takes f7. Now queen takes e5 is possible. Okay, queen takes c4. I will capture the knight back, and I think queen e7 is now. So the first thing is I did not want the opponent to be in his comfortable zone. Queen takes d5. Interesting. That's interesting, guys. I don't want to exchange the queens as I have equalized. Let me just give queen e2 check first. Knight on g5 is well supported by the bishop, and I want this tempo of knight c3 to be used for attacking the queen and developing my piece. So knight e6, and I think I can capture e6 now. I should have played knight c3 first and then captured the e6 pawn, e6 bishop. That would have given me one actually extra tempo. So e6 would be my target now. So just try to create a weakness in your opponent's camp and try to attack that weakness as much as possible. So now king will come to f7 and I have to continue with the attack. So if I want to attack the e6 pawn, my knight has to be on d4. Okay, so if I go knight d2, knight f3, so this is the route that I am looking at right now, guys. Knight d2, knight f3, from where knight can go to d5 and g5. So this route you should think about how I can develop my piece and attack this e6 pawn. I am under time pressure, so I have to do less of commentary now and more of thinking. I hope, guys, my audio is clear. Okay, so yes, Subhash, a good suggestion. Use F1 for the full screen mode. Let's go full screen now. Thanks, Subhash, for the suggestion here. That's a very good thing that you suggested to go full screen. I was having in mind, but I never thought of it while doing the commentary and going live. So that's good. Thanks, Subhash. Hmm. Let us attack this pawn thrice now. Attack by knight, attack by bishop, attack by rook. So this there are three times this pawn is attacked. So he'll probably push the pawn now. That will allow my knight to jump onto square like d4. Should I go to d4 or should I go to d2 and attack this pawn? I should go to d2. So creating a weakness in opponent's camp and then going for this attack always helps you a lot. So right now knight e4 is available, bishop takes e5 is available, and if I play knight takes e4, then knight takes e4, rook takes e4, bishop takes c3, b takes c3, rook takes e4, and I will be left with two double pawns here. So I won't like that position. Let me just capture this. And now I can just put my knight on c4 and then back to e3. So whenever there is a passer pawn or there is a pawn which you think can be pushed ahead, try to put your knight in front of that pawn. It is called as blockading. It is called as blockading. So knight now rook to c5. Just put your knight on e3. Now this pawn cannot be pushed. Okay, so I have to force black to keep defending this pawn. Okay, I will not allow him to push the pawn and get this exchange with the pawn. If this pawn gets exchanged, then the weakness will go from black's position. I have to maintain that weakness in black's position, so I should not allow that pawn to come ahead and get exchanged. So this is why you can put your piece, especially knight, in front of such passing pawn or single pawn. That is called as blockading. You can Google out the concept of blockading. Okay, now I have to make sure my king is in a better position. And sometimes this knight threat is there of g4. If this knight moves, then knight g4 is there. So I have to make sure that that square is also very well guarded. Now I have to put my king on e3 and try to put more pressure on the e4 pawn. There is a knight f5 threat as well, guys, which I have to keep in mind. So yes, so this is what something black is trying to do. Black is enticing me to go for this exchange. And if I go for this exchange, then this weakness will be supported by this pawn. So now let me just play. There is also knight f4 check, right? Okay, knight f4, knight f5 check, king moves. I can just take the. Okay, so knight f4 check is okay. Let me just push the pawn. Knight f4 check, king goes back to f1, and I think I should be okay with that. If knight is exchanged, I'm happy, but knight won't be exchanged. Knight will go to f4 now, and just try to create some. Oh, let me just block his square, f4 square. Not allowing knight f4, because after knight f4 it can sit on d3, attack g2. My king has to go back on f1 and support the g2 pawn. I don't want to go back and defend again. I have to be in the better position. So this knight is now rendered useless. Just defend your pawn. So after some time there will be a moment wherein you will be in position to attack this d5 pawn, e5, e4 pawn. I can see there is a good move, knight c2 here. Knight c2 move is available. Oh, thank you very much. So under time pressure, he has captured the pawn on knight on. Let me just attack this pawn twice, and now rook has to be exchanged or rook has to any moves, any move. I'll just okay, and now I have to make sure I don't blunder in the end game. This is a critical phase, guys. Okay, so king g4 I should not allow. First point, king g4 I should not allow, and so if you see the king wants to enter from here, g4 square. So I have to keep it at bay. I have to keep it as back as possible. Now this is also a game of tempos. The person who has more tempos gets an upper hand. Who is queening first? I think black is queening first. I think I missed a trick here. Yeah, I missed a trick in the end game, guys. And that's what time pressure does to you. But still I have a chance. So remember, guys, when queen versus pawn ending is there, you always have a chance to get yourself stalemated. Okay, you just have to go here, and now if queen captures the pawn, it is going to be a stalemate. Yes, that's what I was explaining to you. Meanwhile, it happened on the board. I'll just go few moves back. Always make sure that when you are on the defending side, that is you in white in this case, I am white right now, and your opponent's queen is attacking you in this way, just take the shelter in the corner of the board. Make sure there are no moves left for you, and if queen captures this pawn, it is going to be a stalemate, and that is what we are witnessing here right now. This is a very good defensive technique. You have to learn this from these live videos. Make sure that you don't forget this. This is a very good defensive technique to get yourself stalemated. Let's go back to the tournament now. I will pause my games and let's watch few top games from other teams. Let's check the team standings right now. So Black Knight is currently leading with 40 points, followed by Gujarat Lions on 27. There is a huge gap of 13 points between first and second position. We have Kolkata Dragons on third position, Board Conqueror on fourth positions, Khelo Chess India on fifth, CSC Chess Blasters, WSDCA 7-star online players keep playing chess thereafter. So let's just check who is leading from the individual point of view. Uh, Aman Chobe from Black Knight is leading currently with 16 points. Then we have Kunal Black Knight from Black Knight again leading with 12 points. Player 1819 is from Board Conqueror. It is also leading. So no players on in top five from Gujarat Lions, which is a general practice that we are seeing from last five tournaments that Gujarat Lions are dominating in the first five places. But right now they are on 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. But I know that with time they'll quickly come up to the top places. Okay, so let's go back and check the games. Black Knight, Destroyer versus Jitendra. Let's check this game, guys. It has just started. Jitendra is 2049 from Kilo Chess India, while the Destroyer is from Black Knights. So, oh, my battery is running low. So D4. Just give me a second, guys. Sorry for the interruption. These are something unprecedented, unexpected events that I have to switch my battery, switch the charging on, and there we go. Okay, so d4, g6, we have e4, knight c3, b6, f4, bishop g7, so bishop b7, knight f3, d6, bishop d3, knight d7, castles, c5, d5, knight f6. So this is a critical position, guys, wherein you can see there is a fianchetto on black's king side and white is gone for d5, a center space in the center. So in such cases, you will often see some a6, b5 like moves and try to attack, create generate attack on the queen side, black's queen side. Okay, so let's check what's happening now. Queen e2, a5, e5, pawn takes, and now knight takes d4. This is what generally happens if you don't take care, if you just push pawns, and if you're unaware of black's breaks, then this weakness can be there. Knight g5 was possible here, right? Knight g5 and knight e6. That could have been interesting. But white played knight to e4, knight takes e4, bishop takes e4, bishop f6. There is a bishop h6 also available right now. Okay, just to expose the king. But white played c4, e6, bishop h6 check, king moves, and now queens. Interesting move because now black has to capture the queen and he will lose an exchange. That is rook for his bishop. Queen takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, rook b1. I think b7 was d6 was better here probably. d6 check, king takes d6 and then bishop takes b7, bishop takes a1, bishop takes e8. That would have been better for white. But let's see what white played rook b1, bishop f6, and now rook takes b6, e5, rook takes b7, and this is completely winning for white now. So white is piece up and black's king is trapped. So I don't think there is anything to check here now. Let's go back to the tournament and check the next game. Okay, so let's go back to the top boards and check Kunal's game. Kunal is from Black Knight. I think Kunal has just played. Okay, so Kunal versus player 1819. 1819 is from Board Conquerors team and Kunal is from Black Knight. Let's quickly check what happened in the opening. B3, a very rarely played opening. B3, E5, Bishop B2, Knight C6, G3, D6, Bishop G2, Bishop D7, E3, Knight F6, Knight E2, G6, castles, Bishop G7, D4, E takes D4, E takes D4, Rook b8. So rook b8 is kind of a preventive move to avoid this bishop takes b7, which is very annoying. In case you move knight to b4 or any other square, this bishop is always attacking your b7 pawn. So d5, knight e7, knight f4, castles, rook e1, c6, pawn takes, bishop takes, f3, and then knight to f5, knight d2, d5, knight f1, d4, and now e3 is something which black would just like to jump upon. Yes, queen goes to c1, and now knight d5, knight takes d5, bishop takes d5, knight f1, knight takes g2, king takes g2, and queen f6. There is some weird animation happening on the screen. I hope it's clear to you all. Bishop h a3. So now rook e8, rook takes, and bishop back to b2. Rook e2 check. This is where we are now on the current move. Rook e2 check, and white has to play. White chooses to take risk and do a king march on h3. Rook f2 can be played now, probably. Rook f2 was better, or is the queen getting trapped? Bishop e5. Where will the queen go? Can the queen go to h6? Queen g5. Interesting. Now there should be some combination on white's king. There should be a check and mate soon. Bishop g2 check is now available. I am just looking to dislodge that knight from f1 because then this rook takes h2 will be possible soon. But this knight has to go somewhere. Somewhere. Then the rook takes h2 will be a check and mate. I think queen is now free. Yeah, bishop g2 and bishop f6. This is coming now to pin the queen. Yep. Oh, it's a reverse pin. This bishop is now pinning the bishop. It's a reverse pin, guys. A very interesting and funny position. This bishop cannot capture the queen. This bishop on d4 is pinning the bishop on f6. A very good move from white side. It deserves actually a round of applause. But queen takes g4. I think that's an time pressure move. And now bishop takes. Oh, still this. Rook takes d1. Probably was the better move. Yeah, that should seal the fate, guys. White should win from here on. White should win easily. Yeah, the black has resigned. Let's go back to the tournament and try to join the game. Last 21 minutes remaining in this battle. So black knights are leading today with a comprehensive margin of 12 points, 11 points right now. Gujarat Lions are closing in on first point as they do every time in this battle. They generally like playing in last 20 minutes and gaining maximum points. It's like hitting sixes in the slog overs. That's what Gujarat Lions are very good at. So we are still seeing a gap of 11 points in first and second position, but I'm sure that Gujarat Lions will hit a lot of sixes in the slog overs of last 20 minutes and try to get on first position. We have Chess Blasters doing the same thing. They are using the let's try to play in Berserk mode. Let's try to make it interesting. Berserk mode is sacrificing half of your time and giving away your increment as well. So this is what I have to be on my toes. I cannot just relax and think of much moves or deep moves. It's just I have to play by my instincts now. Instincts and judgments and whatever you remember most. So this defense is called as Nimzo Indian defense, guys. The ones which I have played e6, bishop b4, and then castles. This is one of the best ways to play against the d4 opening. There are a lot of grandmasters who are playing this defense at the grandmaster level, at the world championship level as well. So yeah, d5 was expected. I should not have played this right away, but that's okay. And now I have to play d6 again. These two bishops are annoying always. So even in last game I had got these two bishops annoying me on my king side, and they are back again on c3 and d3. But now they have been blocked by their own pawns on e4, d5, and c4. So they are rendered useless now. And always remember, guys, when you're playing, if the position is closed, if the position is closed like this, all the pawns are locked, then knights are better than bishops. Bishops love open positions, but knight love closed positions. Only thing is that I have to take care of the c8 bishop now. Once the c8 bishop is taken care of, then I can relax. f4 is now expected, just trying to open up these pawns. I should not allow white to open up these pawns. I am left with 1 minute. I have to make sure I play quick. This is not the best because the knight cannot. Oh, knight f5. An unexpected move in an unexpected. Okay, let me just capture because the knight has already made a lot of moves. My bishop is still sitting on its home square. What can I play? Now the g4 is expected. Oh, bishop f5, bishop e5. Let me play rook b8. I have to open up on the queen side because this g4, h4, g5 are going to come very fast now. I have to create some counter player, something that I can be, I can try to exploit. Pawn takes, rook takes. So this is the counter play, guys. When you are stuck, you don't have anything to do on the king side. Look at the other side. Look at the queen side. Where what you can do over there. Falkbeer counter gambit explains. Subhash, a request from you. I am dodging between the comments and the board right now. Just give me some time. So meanwhile, White is thinking. I'll let me explain you that Falkbeer counter gambit, the one which you have asked in the comment section, is I think it is played against the King's Gambit, wherein you have the moves as e4, e5, f4, and d5. Black plays d5. That probably is called as Falkbeer counter gambit. Queen goes to bishop goes to c. Let me attack on the c file as well as a lone pawn on f5. 30 seconds versus 1 minute. Who will win? Who will win? 30 seconds versus 1 minute, that too with an increment. Let me capture this pawn. Finally, I got this pawn and got some space on the king side. Now my knight should rock on d4. If he doesn't capture the pawn on knight on f5, then knight on d4 will be a better piece. I have to somehow open up this file as well quickly. Rook has to open up this file so that I can attack b3 and what's this? What is this move? Time pressure, time pressure. Let me just put the knight on d4. Take a better square here. Knight takes e4 is available, but that will give a superior open file to this rook on f1. I have to just kick this queen away somewhere. I have to play. I have to exchange the pawns first. Lot of things to do at the same time. Pawn takes, rook takes. Come on, come on. Time pressure. 18 seconds. I have to win in 18 seconds with no increment. Rook takes attacks the bishop as well as the b3 pawn. Rook takes b3 is now coming on. Let me capture the pawn. Pawn takes. Let me open up my queen. If the bishop captures, I'll capture with the pawn. And now the rook is well placed on b3. but it has to go on the 7th rank and try to attack as much as possible. Rook c6 is there. Rook c6, I think now I can capture the pawn because now f1 rook is not there to attack in the f5, and I can do a rook b1 check, rook takes b1, queen takes b1 check, and then this king will start. I can capture the e4 pawn as well. E4 pawn is hanging over here. Yes, e4 pawn, rook takes d6 is played. Rook takes d6 can be played now, and I can continue with the checks. Check. Rook d8 is coming soon. Rook d8 is coming soon. Rook d8 is coming soon, and no checks. Let me attack the queen quickly. Queen can come to f5, and still there is nothing to. Oh, I lost on time. Bad luck. Okay, let's just go back to tournament now. Oh, you are playing a game. Where is my game, guys? Oh, I have been assigned a game here. I have to play some move. This is against. So this is a work defense e4 d6. Those who are unaware. Last 14 minutes remaining. So last game was very quick. I had to be on my toes, and I lost somewhere on the time in last few seconds. If there would have been an increment, probably I could have won easily. But that's the part of game. That's what makes the tournament exciting. I have to play this move. Queen takes, and now knight d4. I have to play queen f2, and now bishop d4 I have to take care of because bishop d4 will pawn takes, and I have good attack on f6 now. It is attacked thrice. That is a nice move. What can I do here? I have a good option here actually. I think I should go for it. I have option of playing queen takes f7. Yes, let's go for it. Check. What are you going to do, the black king now? Are you going to capture my rook on queen on f7 by your rook? Then I can capture your rook back and then capture your queen. And again the knight on h3. So everything is hanging. Everything is hanging, guys. Let me capture the queen first. And then I'll capture this rook on f7. That's how you get an extra piece. When there are a lot of tactics on the board, just try to find out something which is out of the book. That's fine. I can just capture the knight also, and actually capture the bishop also, and then capture the rook also. So I'm getting everything now. It's a party. It's a party for me, guys. Black is offering all the pieces. Okay, so I think I'll get both the rooks now after bishop takes and rook takes and rook takes and bishop takes and king takes, and now activate the rook, defend the pawn on c2, and now black is left with nothing but an absolute lost position. Now please c3 and kick this knight away, and then everything is safe. Nothing to worry about. He goes away himself. Let me take you a square. Now the knight should dance on the king side. Yes, he's trying to block my g4 square, but this knight is going to go on g4 or somewhere on the king side and then try to intrude on f6 and f7 squares. Hmm. Let me just capture the pawn now and challenge the knight. If the knight is exchanged, I should win easily. But knights are not exchanged. Let me just give a check and capture the pawn. Now the H pawn is the passer pawn. Oh, knight h3 check, and he's trying to capture my rook. I have to take care. Sometimes in the excitement, you just ignore such knight h3 moves and you give away your exchange, and again you have to struggle for remaining of your life. Check again, making this square vacants for the pawn to just roll on. What is that knight doing over there? Trying to capture the pawn on h7. Yep, that's what he's trying to do. So what should I do now? Let me just bring my knight back, put the rook in the game, and capture the e5 pawn. Black can just try, be busy and capture, stop these pawns. I'll just go and munch out the remaining pawns over here. Nothing to be experimented here. No need to experiment. Just take these pawns and go for another win. Check, attack the pawns. Now knight will come to g5, capture the pawn push, pawn push, and knight is under attack. But I will get the knight free. So let me just, oh, he has not captured my rook. That's fine. Pin the knight, put the pressure. Check. I hope I don't stalemate the white black king now. I am very good at stalemating sometimes. Let me just create some space for him to move freely and then do a check and mate. Check, 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 and mate. Let's go back to tournament now. Pause the game first and then just check. Black Knights are now leading with again a small margin, just a max margin of 6 points between first and second. Black Knights and Gujarat Lions with the margin of just 6 points. So Gujarat Lions can just keep on winning this tournament if they are just winning in the last 8 minutes. So just few wins and they will be on top again. WSDCA is on 46. So again 46. WSDCA also has a very good chance to grab the first place today. Not much difference, just 8 points, and anything can possible in last 8 minutes. If you are winning few games in berserk mode, then you can be at top. Kolkata Dragons, they are on following with 36. There's a good gap of 10 points between the third and fourth positions. Then the Chess Blasters, then the Khelo Chess India, CSC, Board Conquerors, and Seven Star Online Players. So let's check the top game which is happening right now with between Nikaru Hakamura and Ari, which is who is from CSC team. Let's quickly check what happened in the opening. D4, E6, Bishop F4, D5, E3, Knight F6, Knight D2, C5, C3, Bishop E7, Knight F6, Knight F3, Bishop D3, Knight C6, Knight E5, Knight D7, and this I think is the plan for to play F6 here. Bishop G3, Knight E5, D5, and C4. Okay, Bishop C2. This is the position. So this is just I'm putting few moves back, guys. I was interested in this position. This is similar position you get in French defense, but the pawn is in that case is on E4 or like or already exchanged on D5. So F6 is one of the main moves here. Pawn to F6 and then pawn to E5 is played by black in such positions. But let's see what happened in the game. Knight D5, D5, and C4. Now the question is, what is black going to do with this bishop on c8? There is no way that this bishop is joining the game soon. He has to take a lot of efforts on putting the bishop on a6 or somewhere that there is an open diagonal for that bishop. Poor bishop on c8. So all the viewers who are watching right now, just a request, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to the channel. Recommend to your friends that you learned something today from these videos. It's helping you to enjoy and to learn something in chess every day. So just try to subscribe to channel as much as possible. Ask your friends to subscribe as well. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me motivated to bring more videos to you. Research, try to find more and more technology that chess players can use to improve their games. As a white, do you capture the pawn on f6? Or you would like to play on? Or you want to put your knight back on here and here? Oh, it's an agreed draw. I don't understand why they have accepted a draw here, but that's fine. Let's go back to the tournament and just check what's happening. I think one of the players offered a draw and the other one accepted, so that's how the draw uh, happened. So Mindbreaker and Kagwa Master. Let's check this game. What happened over here? Kagwa Master is from Chess Blasters and Mindbreaker is from Gujarat Lions. So e4, knight f6, d6. So e5 is generally played here. Knight f3, g6. So this is converted into a poke defense. So black is playing beautifully here. He is trying to put pressure on. First of all, he has created a weakness on white's camp. This is what you have to do, and you have to be good at to create some weakness in your opponent's camp. Black has done that beautifully by placing an isolated pawn on d3, and now target that pawn much as possible. Oh, the e2 rook was free here. The free e2 rook, and I think that's what white missed. And black should win this game easily now. Yep. I think this is winning for black completely. So g2 is now hanging and there will be a checkmate followed soon. So last 3 minutes remaining in the tournament for today's tournament to conclude, and this is winning for now black. Let's go back to tournament, guys, and check another game. So black knights are leading right now with 54. Last 2 minutes remaining, 2.5 minutes. WSDCA on 50, just to taken over the second place from Gujarat Lions on third. Chess Blasters on fourth, Kolkata Dragons on fifth, and I think still there is a good chance of either of Gujarat Lions or WSDCA to come on the first rank and be the winner of today's 12th Khelo Chess India team battle. So let's see one of the top games. Still 2 minutes remaining. So it was a draw, agreed draw between the two players. View tournament. Let's go back and yep, this is one game which is going on. I think Gujarat Lions should win this one. D4, C4, D5, Bishop F4. I'll just quickly play this game for you and bring it to the current live position. So black here is trying to attack white's queen side as much as possible, whereas white is trying to put pressure on black's king side on the h6 pawn. Who will prevail? Beautiful position. Last 50 seconds, guys. If the game doesn't conclude in 50 seconds, then probably the score is not considered. Once the tournament time is over, your scores won't be considered. That's what I discovered last time. I need to check if the rules have been changed. So, Subhash, if you have listened to me, what is the Falkbeer counter gambit? You can just put in the comment section if you are still listening. That was the answer for your query. What is the Falkbeer counter gambit? And this will now allow White to just put his queen on f8, rook takes, king takes, and f8 queens. That is the game for you. So that's it, guys. I think this game is almost over. Let's go back to the. That's the final standings for today, guys. The winners of 12th Khelo Chess India team battle is the Black Knights team. Congratulations, Black Knight. Followed by WSDCA. So Black Knights, we have Aman Chobe leading from Black Knight with 28 points. WSDCA, Basan Chess is leading with 25 points. On number 3, we have Gujarat Lions. Belim 169 is leading from Gujarat Lions from 23 points. Then Chess Blasters today on number 4. They were generally number 2 or number 3. Now they have slipped to number 4 today. Kagwa Master outstanding from Chess Blasters team from right from the first tournament. We are seeing Kagwa Masters game. He has been brilliant in all the tournaments, all the battles that we have seen till now. So he's leading today with 15 points from Chess Blasters. Then we have CSC. Ari from CSC is leading with 15 points. Khelo Chess India, Jitendra, a very good performance today from Khelo Chess India team. Kolkata Dragons, we recently got this new team since yesterday. I think they have started playing the team battle. Chess 5905 is leading with 18 points from Kolkata Dragons, and then followed by Board Conquerors and 7 Star Online Player. So that's the final standing for today. From the individual point of view, let us quickly check who won the tournament. From the individual point of view, Aman Chobe from Black Knight with 28 points, followed by Basan Chess. WSDCA with 25 points, then followed by Belim from Gujarat Lions, and thereafter we have players from different teams. So today a surprising result that Nikaru Hakamura is on sixth. He is generally in top one, two, or three positions. So probably some tough competition today or lesser games played either ways. So it was a good tournament, guys. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel and share with your friends as much as possible. Make sure that the players, the chess players who are willing to learn something new, they can join our family of Khelo Chess India. They can learn something new every day. And also, there are a lot of technological videos that I have published on my channel. You can check the technological videos with different technologies that you can use in chess and improve your game every day. So that's all from my end, guys. Congratulations to all the winners. I hope I have answered all the questions. If you have any more questions, you can put in the comment section. You can join our WhatsApp group and you can post the questions to admins as well. I will try to explain the answers in the live session tomorrow. So bye bye, take care, stay at home, be safe. Let's fight COVID-19 together until we meet next time tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. sharp live on Khelo Chess India. Take care and good night.